Yo, JerseyJoe here with another installment of Cooking with Jersey Joe. I appreciate you checking the video out. Today, what we're going to do is make something nice, quick, nice and easy. It's getting a little colder out. Fall's coming. You know, football Sundays are here. You know, we're eating wings, drinking beer, but we need something to dip our chips in. And what we're going to do today is make some avocado dip. Now, don't get it confused. It's not guacamole we're making today. We're making avocado dip. So I'm going to teach you nice, quick, easy way. It should maybe take you 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending how fine you want to chop some things up. And you know, no need for the oven, no need for the air fryer. Nice and easy. If you need to, you know, bring something over to a party, or like I said before, you got the pizza, you got the wings, you got the beer, and you know, you got a bunch of chips, but you have nothing to kind of snack on or dip into. Nice and easy things to do. So what we're going to do first is show you the ingredients. First, you know, you have your cutting board, you have your knife, your seasonings. You know, we're going to go with a little bit of black pepper, some chipotle chili pepper, some salt, and even a little bit of onion powder. We're also going to have a cucumber. We're going to throw in there. You know, change it up a little bit. One thing of garlic we're going to have, and then we're going to use 3 avocados. All right, 3 avocados should be good enough for probably about 3 to 4 people. I made this the other weekend, and I used 3 for 3 people, and it was plenty. There was plenty left over. I had the next day. So, let's get into it. All right, first what we're going to do is we're going to chop up the cucumber. Now you're saying, Joe, why don't we just get the avocados peeled and broken up and going? You can't do that. I don't feel like doing that first. I feel like cutting the cucumber first. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a knife, that has kind of a wider edge than a regular knife, than a regular one. So it's a little bit bigger. We'll get into that when we break up the garlic. So I got this big cucumber, and depending how much I want to use, it's going to depend on me. I mean, it's totally how much you want to throw into it. Now this one, who knows how long this thing is. I'm going to cut probably a quarter of it off and then use that. So I'm going to cut, again, about a quarter of it, and then I'm just going to chop the ends off. Obviously I got to take the plastic off, put everything to the side. So as we chop this up, I want to make it as fine and as small pieces as possible to throw into the avocado dip. So when you're eating the chips, you're not getting a whole bite of cucumber. It's not overpowering that bite. And it's kind of the same thing that's going to go with the garlic. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop it up. Again, you can chop it up any way you want. I'll show you how I do it. I first slice them into thin pieces, like pepperoni pieces. And then what we're going to do is, just keep breaking it down until it's smaller and smaller. So as you can see here, we have our cucumbers all chopped up. I kind of think of it as like towers. So I have 4 towers here. Again, you want to try to cut them as thinly as possible. It's going to make everything easier in the end. But I got my 4 towers, so I'm going to do the same thing to each tower. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I'm going to keep my fingers on it pretty firm, as far away from the blade as I can, so I'm not worried about chopping my fingers. If you don't want to put your fingertips out there, you can use your knuckles. It hurts a lot less cutting your knuckles than it does to tip your fingers off. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to make as small pieces as possible throughout this whole tower. Watch your fingers. There we go. So now you see a lot of straight lines in a row. So I'm going to readjust them so they're all even again. And then I'm going to cut against the grain and make them even more into like cube pieces now. You can kind of do the same thing. It gets a little tricky here. Again, I'm sure they have tools that do all this for you, but I don't have them. So as you see, once you get to the end, it's very hard to hold on to and get. So it's, you don't have to be perfect, obviously. The better you are at it, the easier it's going to be. So, I have a lot of little cube pieces now. So So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it to the side and then work on my next tower and try to get all these towers to look exactly like that. Okay, so now all our towers are diced up into small cubes as we can. Now my cutting board has a little crevice inside, so I've put everything all in there, so it's going to make the next part a little bit easier so it doesn't go flying everywhere. I will guarantee you it still goes flying everywhere, but as I've mentioned in other videos, you want to put a little towel down over your cutting board so it doesn't slip and slide as you're cutting it and then accidentally chop your finger off. Here I'm going to use this tool, which I don't really know what it's called, but it looks pretty good for chopping things up. Again, I have a cucumber that is in pretty small cubes, but I want it even smaller. I want it as thin and as fine as possible. So I'm just going to roll this over. Again, I have a little crevice there, so it makes it a little bit easier, and just try to just chop it up into as small as pieces as possible. Alright, next we're going to put a little onion in there, give it a little bit of extra flavor. I have one little, well, not little, but decent sized piece of onion. Now you can say, hey Joe, should I put 2? Should I put 3 in there? Well, just like my fitness and meal plans, it's totally customized. I only like 1. I'm not a huge onion fan, but I like the little bit of flavor it adds to it. So the avocado dip is not so much plain. It has a little bit of flavor into it. I only use 1. If you want to use more, you feel free. Everything on, again, like I said, my workout plans, my meal plans, the way I cook videos. You may not like the way I do it. I may not like the way you do it. So that's why, not everyone is the same in this world, and we all are entitled to what we like to do. I only like 1. If you want to use more, hey, experiment with more. So I have my 1 onion here. I'm going to place my knife on top of it. I'm going to push down to break it up. It's just now it's broken up, and now fingers will start to smell like onions a little bit. But now we're going to do the same thing. Think of this as 1 tower. We're going to chop it up exactly the same way as we did the cucumber and try to get it in as small and fine pieces as possible. Now it's a little bit harder to do because it's smaller. It's a little bit not slippier, but it's a little bit harder to chop. So I'm going to pretend like I'm a chef. I'm going to do this thing because I see chefs do it all the time, and maybe it'll work. Just try to get it in as small and fine pieces as possible. Next thing I'm going to do is break up the avocados and put it in the bowl. Again, you could have done this first. I like to do it second. Totally up to you. I got, again, 3 avocados. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a slit right from the top all the way across, so it becomes into 2 pieces. Twist. You got your 1, and you got your other, and your pit. Now, take the pits out. You use a spoon, nice and easy. Just go around and put it in a bowl. Try to get all as much out as possible. Again, you don't want to waste that, and that's just wasted money. Alright, so you're going to do that for all 3. Again, a little trick. You see the little stem part? I always like to try to cut that in half. That's usually right down the middle, so it's beautifully cut in half right here. I'm going to shift it again, being careful, I'm not cutting myself. Bring the knife back up, make it 1 long slit, twist, open, get the pit. Do that with this one again, looking for the little root area, right down the middle. Keep spinning it with the knife in there. So I got 1 long slit, twist it, open, there's the pit, and now just take the insides, all the good stuff, that good, throw it in. might think, Joe, I mean, yeah, you got onions here, you got cucumbers in there, but this thing's gonna just taste like avocados. I mean, yes, I did say we were making avocado dip and not guacamole, but if you give me a second, I will show you how we're gonna get some extra flavor in there. Alright, before we get to the good part and the fun part, getting a little extra flavor in there, we gotta mash this up. So, I got my bowl of all my avocados. I have my chopper. I'm gonna get it as thinly as possible. Again, it's gonna make it in like chunks. Obviously, the more ripe the avocados are, the easier it is this next part's gonna be. So, pretty good, not bad. It's a lot thinner than usually because the avocados were precisely ripe. So, I mean, it's a little chunky. It's not, dip quality. So I have this little masher. You can use a fork if you want, but we're gonna mash it down until it gets the consistency that I want, and we're almost there. See, it looks more like dip right now. Now again, if you had a fork, the same thing, you just mash it. You can maybe even get a little finer down than this tool, because it does have a bit of holes, but it gets the job done. So again, totally up to you, your preference, and how you want it. Alright, cool. Now, we have the consistency of guacamole, but it's not guacamole, it's avocado. So now, the fun part is now we're gonna start adding all this shit together. Now I have my onion and cucumbers. Going to slide that right in. Get it all in there. Then I have that little crease in my cutting board, which makes it easy, but now it's really hard because it's all stuck in there. So good enough. We're in there. Now we're gonna mash it in. We're gonna mix it all together. All right. So hey, we're almost done. The cleanup's going to be the worst part. It's going to be the part that takes the longest. But now I have my avocados in here, I have my cucumbers in here, and my onions in here, all mashed up, thinly sliced, all in there. So now the fun part, we're going to make it a little flavorful. Now again, totally up to you how you want to do it. Take a little onion powder. I'm just eyeballing out. I'm not measuring anything out. I don't really want to go anything over a tablespoon. And maybe with the salt, maybe pepper a little bit more than that. But how I like to do it is I like to put one ingredient in and then kind of mix it up. Now you could put them all in together if you want and just mix it like that. But what's the fun in that? If I did that, this video would only be about 2 minutes long. So I'm going to go one after another and mix it in. And we got a little pepper going. Mix that up. I smell it, it's good. And now, get a little chipotle chili pepper. If you have, again, for guacamole, if you have jalapenos or anything like that, maybe even some banana peppers, throw it in there, get a little kick to it, a little oof, as we like to say. Here, a little chipotle chili pepper. Again, I want that little kick, a little fire in your breath. I'm only gonna put a little bit in there. I'm not gonna go overboard because strong stuff. Now, Mix that in. Ooh, that smells good. I can smell that chili cooking. Now the last thing we will do, and the only thing we're going to measure, is lemon juice. Now this is a half a tablespoon measure. We're going to put a full tablespoon in there. So I'm going to measure again. You should probably measure over a sink, but I'm one for the dramatics, and that's a half. Add a little zesty flavor to it, and uno. Mix that baby in. Ooh, yeah, now we're talking. You can see it just fall off the scooper now. Again, just for final measures, see if we got any small chunks in there that we'll mash down. But hey, that's how you do it. Nice and easy. What did it take? 10 minutes, easy. And now I got chips and dip to watch football games and lose all my bets. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, follow JerseyJoe Fitness on YouTube, get notifications on Daily Facts, videos just like this. Comment on the videos, let me know what you want to hear or see, what do you want to learn about. Let me do the research so you can sit back, be lazy on your couch, and get ready for your workout. Make sure you visit JerseyJoeFitness.com for your workout and meal prepping needs.